Hello fellow mutants, welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to talk about how Disney just cancelled an Ant-Man special because of what has been going on with Jonathan Majors, who has played Kang the Conqueror, essentially, in both Ant-Man, the latest Ant-Man movie, and Loki. So let's give this article a read. Fans of Marvel's Ant-Man franchise has been waiting for the new assembled special that was set to debut yesterday on June 14th. However, the special has been delayed indefinitely, most likely because of the drama surrounding actor Jonathan Majors and his current legal trial. Now, in addition to the ongoing Writers Guild of America strike, we're not sure if the Ant-Man special will air at all. Earlier this year, Jonathan Majors was arrested at his Manhattan home for domestic assault and harassment allegations made by his former girlfriend. The unnamed woman had briefly been sent to the hospital for minor injuries, and now is pressing charges against the actor. If he's found guilty, then he could spend up to 1 year in prison. It's no secret that Disney executives and many others are not happy with Jonathan Majors right now. The actor burst into the Hollywood scene this year after starring in two hit films, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania and Creed 3, with his upcoming indie film Magazine Dreams already producing Oscar buzz. But his career may be over if the allegations against him turn out to be true. Yeah, I also said, and I'm happy about how they are saying his legal case, because I want to reiterate what I said the only other time that I mentioned. At least the first time I mentioned Jonathan Majors on this channel. Wait before all the evidence shows up before harshly judging the man. Because the last thing I want is another Johnny Depp case to happen where everybody believed Amber Heard and not Johnny Depp, when the innocent one was Johnny Depp and the guilty one was Amber Heard. So wait until all the evidence stacks up for see if Jonathan Majors is guilty of this crime. Was X accused him, or if the X is pretty much another Amber Heard. Wait until we get all the evidence. Because I don't want, like I said, I don't want another Johnny Depp incident to happen. So, with that said, I'm continuing. Obviously, this is not good. This is not good PR for any of the companies that Jonathan Majors is working with. So the marketing teams behind Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, and Creed 3 has downplayed his appearance in their films despite his large roles. Jonathan Majors played Krang the Conqueror in the most recent Ant-Man film, The Kang Dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars. Despite the negative press around the actor, Disney has not cut him from the upcoming movies yet, and his IMDb profile shows that he is still involved in both projects. And the good thing about them having Kang the Conqueror in Loki setting up the multiverse, and Spider-Man No Way Home kind of taking that out of the park. Not every version of character needs to look the same, right? Barry Allen, for example. I know I'm going to DC, but Barry Allen. The most recent example I can use with Barry Allen is the Arrowverse Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover, where we saw Ezra Bridger. I almost said Ezra Bridger thinking he's a Star Wars now. Ezra Miller's Flash and Grant Gustin's Flash together, right? And then we saw Grant Gustin's Flash with a guy who played the Flash in the '90s show coming on not only as Jay Garrett in the Arrowverse and Barry Allen's father essentially, but also reprising his role as Barry Allen in both Crisis, I believe, not Crisis, then in general in the Elseworlds crossover. So like I said, not every version of the character per se needs to look the same. In universe for Marvel, Spider-Man No Way Home, Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, Tom Holland all played Peter Parker, but different versions of Peter Parker. So who's to say that every version of Krang needs to look the exact same? It's okay to have different looking Krang. I'm thinking I'm in turtles now. It's okay to have a different person looking like. It's okay to have different looking. It's okay to have like sense of the same character from different multiverses, but look different. If that makes sense. This different versions of the same character essentially. So, just throwing that out there. Anyways, some are speculating that Disney won't pull the plug on Jonathan Majors' MCU career until they know for sure whether or not he is guilty of the alleged crimes. This makes sense since replacing a major character in such a large franchise takes a lot of effort. It can interfere with viewer continuity, and the actor might not even be guilty of the crimes. On Tuesday, June 13th, Jonathan Majors made an appearance in court to continue his ongoing trial, but no verdict has been announced to the public yet. I like to go back a bit, saying, the line where they said, this makes sense since replacing a major character in such a large franchise takes a lot of effort. It can interfere with viewer continuity, and the actor might not even be guilty of the crime. First off, the actor may not even be guilty of this crime. Is why I'm stressing caution on placing judgment on Jonathan Majors quite yet, because for that reason alone, we don't even know if he's guilty or not. It could easily be the whole like his ex-wife pulling Amber Heard and trying to make the man look bad when it's really the lady who looks bad, using taking advantage of society's women are weaker than men. Always believe women. That a mentally sexist stereotype. Because look how well it worked out for Amber Heard. It worked well for her for a while until like it shot her in the ass, essentially, and hypothetically. But in terms of it can't interfere with viewer continuity, in this case, not really. Like, I get why they're trying to go for it, but at the same time, we're in the multiverse era of the MCU right now, which means, as kind of going back to my point earlier, not every version of this character per se needs to look the same. Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, they reprised their roles as Spider-Man in Tom Holland's third Spider-Man movie. Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire were all Peter Parker, and like they don't like look like they can like. They don't look identical with each other. They don't look like the Sprouse brothers from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, where they, in their younger years, in those twins' younger years, they look like they could easily be confused with each other. So, like I said, I feel like it can interfere with viewer continuity. No, I don't think it will interfere with viewer continuity. I think it might, in this case, also help viewer continuity as well, per se, if that makes sense. Because if, let's pretend he's guilty for a second, and they recast, them recasting won't be really, like, out of the field box. Because we already will understand, okay, this is Kang from another timeline. So, like I said, I think people, like, you know, I'm kind of tired of the multiverse thing at the moment. Be more, like, I think people adjust to a recasted Kang. Potentially, I'm using the word potentially for a reason, potentially easier than the recasting of Rachel in the Dark Knight trilogy. or potentially like the April O'Neil recast in the original '90s Ninja Turtle film. With that said, I'm going to continue. The Ant-Man franchise has been going strong since its first movie premiered back in 2015, starring Paul Rudd and some on the other two actors that I mentioned. Jonathan Majors entered the franchise as Kang the Conqueror, a supervillain that can travel the multiverse and time stream as easily as anyone across the street, making him the ultimate threat against Ant-Man and the Avengers. While the plot of the new assembled special is under wraps, we can speculate that it will be similar to the Disney TV series Avengers Assembled that ran from 2014 to 2019, which was great. The animated show primarily focused on the core Avengers crew: Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Hulk, Black Widow, and Hawkeye. So the new special would most likely introduce new team members like Ant-Man and perhaps Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and the crew of the Guardians of the Galaxy. So, like I said, I think for one, we should hold until we get a verdict. We should withhold judgment about Jonathan Majors because we don't know all the details yet. And in the scenario where he does get recasted, can get recasted, it won't be out of the real house because we're in the multiverse era. Wouldn't be out of the real house. I'm hoping Jonathan Majors didn't beat up his now ex-girlfriend. And if he did, the only way I'll justify anyone, male or female, putting their hands on another person or thing is if said being is threatening their safety, like coming them with a sharp object or a weapon that could seriously injure them or kill them. That's the only time I'll say, okay, putting your hands on someone is justified because you're defending yourself, so you won't get seriously injured or worse. So, like I said, I'm praying Jonathan Majors is innocent. But like I said, I am withholding judgment until after the verdict is cleared. To say, okay, either Jonathan Majors is completely innocent or Jonathan Majors is a dick. But with that said, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Be kind to one another. And I will talk to you fellow mutants later.